guys, Fabio Bonanno here. Happy Movember. I've not posted a video in a while, but I thought I would give you a video on what a lot of people have been talking about just now: intermittent fasting. So firstly, what is intermittent fasting? What does it do? Why are people doing it? Well, intermittent fasting basically means not eating for a prolonged period of time. So it can be anything from 12 hours to 24 hours and upwards. I've heard of people doing a 72-hour fast for whatever reason. I don't know. There's many theories, there's many principles out there, just like there is with nutrition. So I thought that because everyone was talking about intermittent fasting, then here it is. I done my research, and like in the past, and probably like many of you out there, there's too much information. So you can research and then do some more research, but until you start doing it, how are you going to know if it works? So everything works for different people. I can't tell you to not eat for 24 hours because your blood sugar levels might crash, you might not be able to focus, you might have a busy job that you need that attention. Just like I can't tell you you must eat every 2 hours for fat loss, because you need to give yourself that protein. Now these are things that people just hear of on the internet or read in one magazine, but then the same magazine the next month will tell you something different. So everything works for different people. But let's get back to intermittent fasting. Many principles out there. As I said, what I would firstly advise is a 24-hour fast on a Sunday, for talking's sake. Pick a day that you're not going to do a lot, because you might feel an energy crash, you might feel alright. The first time I done it, felt great. Benefits of intermittent fasting is supposedly you can access that stubborn body fat, so your glutes if you are female, abs if you're male. Basically your body generally accesses the easy body fat, which is yellow, and the stubborn body fat, which is brown. So if you go on this prolonged period of fasting, then in theory your body breaks down, it uses the yellow body fat and attacks the brown. This is again in theory. I'm not a preacher. I don't tell you that one thing works, because one thing doesn't work for everyone. Life gets in the way. As I said, I can't tell you to eat every 2 hours if you're in a meeting for 6 hours in your work. So I always advise on what you eat per day. That gets results. At the end of the day, if you want to lose weight, then on average, so if it's 1 day, 3 days, you need to eat less than you are burning and you'll lose fat. Same with gaining muscle, eat more. Intermittent fasting just allows you a little bit more freedom. What I found from my own personal experience is that I don't need to think about food as much. I get up first thing in the morning, I don't need to make breakfast. That part of my day is half an hour more productive, if that makes sense, because I don't have to sit down, make the food, eat it and clean up after myself. I get up, get a coffee and go and get on with my day. Same with bedtime, I'm the exact same. There's many principles, as I said, with the 24-hour fast, which is a theory that's going to teach you the difference between mental and physical hunger. So because you're used to eating every 2-3 hours, it goes 3 hours 15 minutes, you've not had your food, you're clock watching, all of a sudden you're hungry. Or are you? It usually passes, and trust me, from a guy like myself who is obsessed with food, the worst thing I could ever think of before was going 16 hours without food. So I've been doing it now. I get great results when I'm consistent, but just like most diets, consistency is the hardest part. So I try and make it as easy as I can for myself. I am practicing the 16-8 theory, but again, these are guidelines, because how can you not eat for exactly 16 hours and eat for exactly 8 hours every day? There's different theories, the 12-12, so going 12 hours without food, 12-hour feeding window. But I feel personally that the best results out there are going 16 hours roughly without food, training on an empty stomach. I used to eat before I work out, but I felt energy levels went down because your body's insulin levels are spiked and you get that crash and your body's digesting the food rather than worrying about getting the strength up for a workout. So if you're going to try it, you can try it and break your fast with a pre-workout meal, but I'd advise a post-workout meal. So you've just went 16, 17, 18 hours, whatever, without food. Your body is ready to eat. So you work out on 10 grams of branched chain amino acids. This increases protein synthesis. So when you're ready for your food, your body's hormonal responses are boosted. So growth hormone, testosterone levels are boosted, and you're insulin sensitive post-workout. So because you've not had carbs in that long, or any kind of food, then your body's insulin levels have regulated themselves. So when you do take in carbs, especially post-workout, then you will absorb them straight into your muscles. They'll get stored as muscle glycogen. So in theory, again, nothing will be stored as fat. I mean, these are principles. Intermittent fasting, if it works for you, try it. That's the only thing I could advise. Everyone is always preaching about different things. I started doing research and realised that I would be doing research 2 months later. So I started it working out in an empty stomach. I thought there could be nothing worse. So I started off eating an apple and some branched chain amino acids before, but I felt over time that just working out on branched chain amino acids was better. After a week or 2 weeks, energy levels were increasing and workouts were incredible, and fat loss results were seen, losing millimetres on my calves and my abs with the caliper tests, which are usually where I hold my most fat. Strength going up, weight going up, and body fat staying the same, if not reduced. So some days it doesn't work. Some days my feeding window might be 5 hours, so I'll eat 2-3 meals in 5 hours. Other days it might be 10 hours, so I might eat 1 to up to 5 meals in 10 hours. So it just depends. It's a principle, an eating principle. We are not here to tell you exactly eat like this, otherwise you'll lose fat or you'll lose muscle, because it just doesn't work that way. People ask me, okay, how many grams of branched chain amino acids should I take pre-workout? Like, if you take 5 grams or if you take 6 grams, that extra gram is not going to make a difference. So honestly, don't worry about little things like that. Worry about being consistent with your diet and nutrition. There is lots to talk about intermittent fasting, so I've given you the basics. If you've got any other questions, then ask me on my Facebook fitness page, Fabio Bonanno Fitness, on my Twitter, Abs by Fabs. Check out my website, fabiobonanno.com, which I'm currently working on, or even just post a comment on the comment box on YouTube. I've been rambling, there's so much to talk about, so if you've got questions about it, I can tell you from my own experience. I'm not an expert by any means, but as I said, I've been there, I've done it. Hope you like this video. I'm going to try and do a few more for you in general, give you as much information as you can and help you guys out. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, tell all your friends, and hopefully you've learned something. Thanks guys. Fabio Bonanno, Smart Tech sponsored athlete, natural bodybuilding recognition representative. Thanks guys.